In a world very much like our own, Connor is a 13-year-old kid about to enter the family line of business, ghost hunting. But when during his first mission, he ends up pissing off the Ghost King, he's in for a journey of a lifetime. Can Connor continually escape the Ghost King clutches while he learns more of the trade with his aunt? Or will he fail and doom the world to eternal darkness? The moonlight was bright as it shined down on the gravel floor. Training ground in the distant manor. Training ground. The training ground were a sanctuary for Spirit Queller, laced with plants and small shrub, but most of the emphasis was placed on the vast amount of equipment laid about. There were dummies, targets, and even a small obstacle course. My muscles cry in pain, still remembering the beating they took in the morning training with Mum. The training ground had been there ever since the manor was first built on the cliffside that hung over the ocean. All of this was first constructed over 300 years ago, when my ancestor first came to America. When my ancestor first arrived, they were considered ordinary immigrants, but that couldn't be further from the truth. They weren't regular immigrants, they were Spirit Queller, a selected group of families from different parts of the earth, all tasked with one mission: quell spirit. My family comes from this old culture, quelling any and all spirit that they've come across. They've done it ever since the first landing in America, and will continue to do it for all time, never backing down from a challenge. All of this history has led to me, Connor Camp Abora, a 13-year-old who is the descendant of two different and competing families of Spirit Queller. The Abora, a proud Spanish family with the ability to speak and see the spirit without special equipment, and the Camp, an English family whose expertise in defensive spirit magic is unparalleled by any other family. Despite the two peaks of bloodlines coursing through my veins, I'm still a Spirit Queller in training who has yet to master the first basic skill in a Spirit Queller training: manifestation. My breath was scorching in my throat as my body nearly full. My bones were the only thing holding up my body. Time drifted on for what seemed like years before I finally took one last breath of air, in through my nose and out through my mouth, before yelling loudly while throwing my right arm out in front of me. A green ethereal chain appeared from the air beside me as I moved my arm. The chain wrapped around the dummy with a loud crack, before shattering into a million pieces. I could hear Mum telling me to work on my form, to focus on my breathing. Picture the chain, wrapping around and not breaking. I gasped for air, the muscle in my body burning like the sun itself. Damn it! It had been 3 days since I started my nightly training, and the closest I've gotten to improvement is touching the target. It's supposed to be a simple move, but it's one that I had been struggling with ever since Mum first taught me it. While I've been struggling, all of the other Queller in training have been able to master their bloodline ability without any trouble. Or so. I overheard Mum telling Dad. My hand trembled as I gazed down at them. It's been almost an hour. The only bright side to all this, I've been able to indirectly focus on stamina training. I clenched my hand into a fist, ready to throw another chain, even though the outcome hadn't changed all of the other time I tried. There was no better answer other than I was stubborn, a soft gentle hand drifted onto my shoulder as I panted. It's in your breathing. Control your breathing and visualize. I gasped and jumped backward into the figure grasp, only to find myself on the hard gravel ground below me. The figure chuckled. The small hoarse sound, all concentrated in the chest, was everything I needed to know who it was. I looked up to find Aunt Abby. Bright smile. She had a dark brown complexion much like my own, but the key difference between us was the eyes and hair. While my eyes were dark brown, hers were hazel. My hair was raven black, while hers was brunette. Within that brown sea of curls there was a multitude of silver hair that only added to her beauty. She still looked the same as the picture I had glanced over 1,000 times in that manner, the one with the whole family in suit and gowns together before I was born. For some reason, it was just my parent and Auntie Abigail in the large manor that once housed so many. How you know I was awake? And more importantly, how do you find me? I asked after getting back onto my feet and dusting myself off. Mijito, you left the window up to your room open, Aunt Tabby smirked, before crossing her arms over her chest. That, and you've been screaming at that dummy since 1 in the morning. I let out a soft sigh and gazed down at the gravel beneath my feet, slowly moving my feet around to play with it. The soft clacking of rocks continued under my voice as I spoke. I'm sorry, stubbornly. I picked my gaze back up to meet hers. I've been trying this move for over a week, Aunt Abby. You think I at least master manifestation with the amount of time I've put in. I turned back to face the dummy with a great teeth and a narrowed gaze. You'll get it soon enough, Connor. It's all about patience. Aunt Abby stood beside me and swiftly moved her hand with minimal effort. There was a quick flash of a pink ethereal web. In a matter of seconds, the dummy fell to the floor in half. Inside the dummy was a large amount of hay that now sprawled out onto the training ground. The important part is that you refuse to give up. I know, I crossed my arms over my chest in an effort to not seem impressed, even though on the inside I was squealing with excitement. But it's easy to be patient when you've already mastered the move. I turned my head from her. I could hear her soft laugh that was concentrated in her chest before she kissed the top of my head. Did I ever tell you how long it took me to master manifestation? She placed a large emphasis on me. The question piqued my curiosity. In all of my training, I heard the stories of Great Spirit Queller, like my great-grandpa, how he overcame the most troubling odds and how he saved city and country from the spirit that threatened them. But I never heard about their beginnings. I turned my attention back to her, biting my lips before speaking. No, I haven't. Smooth, Connor. Real smooth, I thought to myself. Well, think of how long you've been attempting it. She closed her hand to a fist and multiplied it by 3. She mirrored the number with her finger.